Joined this morning by Hilary Kennedy of the 4-Minute Buzz. Welcome, Hilary.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
We're going to talk to you about a couple of things. One, the World Economic Forum, which is a really bizarre story.
Yes. So Keith actually brought this to my attention. The World Economic Forum allegedly put out a tweet several weeks ago that said, should the age of consent be lowered to 13 or less, how age of consent laws may be infringing on human rights.
Yeah, because people were retweeting a screenshot. And we've seen people can manipulate tweets to say whatever they want to. And I said, this doesn't seem real at all. And I went and I found that tweet. And now it's gone.
Oh, I bet.
Looked everywhere because Keith sent it to me and I looked everywhere and it has been scrubbed from the internet completely. You can't find it. I looked on the Wayback Machine where you can find old tweets, things that are archived. Can't find it anywhere. So that kind of led me down a rabbit hole, though, when I was looking for it about age of consent, and it led me to this story about the website OnlyFans. So for people that don't know what it is, it's a subscription-based social media platform. So there are registered users, and then there are content creators. And basically, if you're a content creator, you can put whatever you want to on the site as long as it's, quote, legal. So they have a lot of people in the adult film industry and yes, things like that. But what's crazy is, you know, with the age of consent discussion, there are a lot of minors that are using OnlyFans as a way to make income, and very young, 12, 13, 14. And even though OnlyFans has safeguards in place to determine your age, you're supposed to take a selfie with your ID to prove that it's you. Kids are bypassing that in all kinds of creative ways. It's actually not that hard to do. You know, they're borrowing IDs. So now these children are selling photos and video of themselves online, and it's also just become a field day for traffickers as well. So the National Center on Sexual Exploitation named OnlyFans as one of their dirty dozen, which is their list of mainstream entities, because they're actively facilitating and profiting from sexual abuse and exploitation. And in 2019, I thought this was shocking. In 2019, there were around a dozen children known to be missing that were linked to content on OnlyFans. And that's according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. But now these numbers have nearly tripled over the last year.
And what do you attribute that to?
Well, you know, a lot of people are saying what's happening is these kids are, I mean, it's not all children either. It's adults too that are being kind of forced into exploitation by traffickers. They will contact you, they will threaten you, they will bully you into giving up your profile on OnlyFans or forcing you to post things and giving up your information so they're making the money, almost kind of acting like a pimp. And this is happening a lot. It's becoming very, very common. And the scary thing too for these kids, especially underage that are posting these explicit photos and video, those things are now being screenshotted, downloaded, saved, and sent out to places like Pornhub where that content is being repurposed and sold without their permission or their knowledge.
Oh, boy.
So the potential down the road for not just children, but for anyone, job prospects, your family finding out. And that's how a lot of traffickers work too, is they'll say, if you don't continue to send me content or continue to post things where I'm making money, I'm going to send all of these photos you take into your family or your school or your employer.
Oh, dang, dude.
Wow. And do they have a lot of subscribers?
They do. So the company was founded in 2016. It now has 30 million registered users and 450,000 content creators. So out of that 450,000, imagine how many of those are kids.
Oh, probably a lot.
Yeah.
Did this explode last year when everybody's just sitting around home without anything to do and they don't have any place to go? And so during the pandemic, I bet it really exploded.
Absolutely. Because I think kids see, especially a lot of these social media stars getting a lot of fame and making money, and they want an easy way to be able to do it too. And so many adults also were without a job last year and were looking for ways to make ends meet. And for a lot of people, they feel like this is their only option.
Another one of those unintended or maybe intended consequences of the pandemic.
Absolutely. Well, I will say this for OnlyFans, just within the past couple of days, they've come out and said they want to move away from having all of this adult content on their site because it's keeping them from attracting the kinds of investors and advertising dollars that they want to be able to continue to grow. So,
because they're kind of starting to get that seedy reputation,
yes,
almost like a Jeffy site is what they're turning into.
Right.
Without trying.
Yeah, which you don't want.
Right.
You don't want that.
But there have been a lot of lawmakers and politicians that have written the DOJ and asked, look into this site. I don't know that everything's above board. So there are people who are concerned about it, who are looking for it. But I would say for anybody that's a parent or a grandparent, look into what your kids are spending time on, what their friends are spending time on, because the lure of being able to make, quote, easy money, that's very attractive to someone of any age, but especially to kids. And so, you know, maybe just check into what they're doing, search their browser history. If you see OnlyFans on there, definitely look into it, because a lot more could be going on.
And speaking of these people that are making a lot of money online, these influencers like Jake, what's his face?
Jake Paul.
Yeah, Jake Paul and his brother. Is the fight definitely scheduled between Jake Paul? Because I know you're a big UFC fan and a big Conor McGregor fan. Is that definitely on, the Jake Paul Conor McGregor fight?
So what's supposed to happen now is Conor McGregor is going to be fighting Daniel Poirier on July 10th in Nevada. It's a huge rematch for them. Super excited. But people
And McGregor won the first time?
So he won the first, lost the second, now it's the third. So
wow.
What people are saying is if he loses this time, Conor has a couple of options, because that will be several losses in the past couple of years. So what people are saying is his options are he could maybe go the boxing route and fight Jake Paul or Manny Pacquiao. That would be exciting. A lot of people also saying, you know, what would be great for him is to join WWE and go into that arena, since he's the larger than life personality. Or, you know, he may have to go back and do some sort of rematch that people would still be interested in, like Nate Diaz, in order to stay relevant in the UFC. Or he could retire for the 10th time.
Yeah, he's retired quite a few times. So that's not set in stone yet.
No, not to my knowledge. I know there's been a lot of talk about it, but I think it kind of hinges on how he does in the Poirier fight.
That'll be interesting to see. So, but the next one is Poirier McGregor.
Yes. So July 10th, which is Saturday. Wait. The next Saturday.
Yeah.
2
Saturday.
weeks. 2 weeks, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Saturday night.
And that's, do you know how much they're charging on pay-per-view for that?
I don't. That's a really good question. I need to look into it, because I will be the person paying it.
Yeah.
I mean, the smart thing is just go in with a bunch of friends, or if you can find a place that's hosting it, you know, some a cool bar or restaurant or whatever that's hosting it. Check it out
sometimes
there,
you can watch it for free then, right?
And I believe it is cheaper if you stream it online than get it on pay-per-view, so on TV.
All right. Well, we'll be watching for you on the 4-Minute Buzz coming up in just a few minutes.
Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Hilary.
Thanks, Hilary.